Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and War Games, and today we are making a quick tournament report of Epic Armageddon. And I might hear already like Epic Armageddon again, and yeah, well, I would like to make a little bit more conquest, more Armageddon and stuff, but the community in Paris, there is a big Epic community in Paris, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna join their organizing an event. And since I'm going, I'm like, well, you know what? Like, I know there's been some videos of Epic Armageddon already, but I like the game, I like my army, and I'm going to play there anyway. Might as well make a video for this. It might be a short one because there's going to be 3 games, but we start at 8 in the morning. There's a barbecue and stuff, like it's more like a social event, as you will see. And it finishes around 23, so since I don't want to be home by midnight, to keep my marriage standing, I will probably play only 2 games. You're gonna see some people that you see in other battle reports, such as Avner, who did Adeptus Mechanicus and stuff. And for me, you will see this army I will present to you because it's a little bit interesting. The first game in the morning will be 3,500 points, which is exactly the army you have here. And for the afternoon, both games, and including one of them that I will play, will be at 3,000 points. So we are downgrading a little bit the scale of the game, barely. So if you don't know Epic Armageddon well, I show a little bit more how it plays before, but this is just to show you a bit the atmosphere, the armies, the tables and everything. There's going to be a lot of variety. There's going to be, unlike Legions Imperialis, there's a lot of different factions. So you're going to see that on the tables, you're going to see some Sisters of Battle, some Tau, Eldar, Tyranids, of course, Chaos Cultists and stuff, Space Marines, obviously, but Adeptus Mechanicus as well. I think we're going to have Drukhari as well. Orcs, of course, the Evil Sons. So there's going to be a lot of variety for this tournament. And, well, I will see against who I am going to play. For my list, I printed out, thanks to the inbuilt builder. This is the 3,500 points list. So I have my 2 objectives, which are my little diorama. As you know, like it's a very like a chess-like game when you need to measure threat ranges and stuff. And I have 2 objectives that I will need to secure back. And of course, it's going to be these Black Hawk Down style, crashed gunship and attack fighter. I'm not going to go too much in details of the list. You know, you've seen this already, but my main infantry fighting force in both lists is going to be an infantry fighting regiment, so a mechanized infantry. There's going to be these heavy infantry transport, the Dracosan, that I play as chimeras. There's going to be these little Solar Auxilia Tertio as my basic guards. So it's going to be 7 transport, 12 guards, including a commissar, which I represent with Ogrins, because like they have super strong melee attacks, the commissars. Thought might as well, gives me bonus and stuff. I'm not going too much in details. My supreme commander in his own little chimera is going to be this beautiful commander of the Saturnine Rams, technically for Legions Imperialis. I really like this guy, and basically gives me a very strong reroll for activation rolls, and I really need to keep him alive. 3,500 points. I have also a little company of infantry, so 3 transport, 3 chimeras, and 6 guards, including a commissar as well. We're gonna see I'm gonna have less tanks in the next list, and this is gonna rise up to become a full infantry mechanized company with those reinforcements that I put in the back here. Both lists I'm gonna have 2 troops, how they call it, 2 platoons of Lemon Rosses. This one on the left is Lemon Ross Destroyers, so they have very good anti-tank firepower. You can see with the custom turret of the commissar here, because of course there's gonna be commissars. The Imperial Guard really plays with commissars in the 40k. And the other one is going to be just a basic unit of Lemon Ross. This with stronger cannon. I think it's a Vanquisher cannon. And those are going to be by basic Lemon Ross. Yes, I know. I made vice versa. This is supposed to be the normal Lemon Ross, and those are supposed to be Vanquishers. But for Legions Imperialis, I built everything as Vanquishers because we know how good Games Workshop is at balancing the games. Even though there's been an update for Legions Imperialis, and our first battle report for Legions Imperialis, when we're going to do it, is of course going to take into account these good balance data changes. You can see that the bulk of my force is not the infantry, is not even the Lemon Ross, it is the super heavies. I'm going to have 2 whole companies of Bend Blades. One company is going to be a company of Storm Swords. I always mix up the names. Yes, Storm Swords. So with lots of flamethrowers and a bunker busting heavy like artillery type thing, which does blast damage and stuff. very good against infantry, in cover, not in cover. It just does a lot of damage, and it's good in firefights. And another company of the more classical bend blades. You can see it's a commissar because of the little purple here. And yeah, those are really like here to hold the line and push forward. They finally have 3 wounds in Epic Armageddon, the same as in Legion's Imperialis. For longest time they had 2 wounds in Legions. And I'm like, guys, why? Of course, you know how much I love this miniature, the Shadow Swords. I have a full company of 3 in both lists. The Bend Blades and Storm Swords also stay in both lists. And here I have, no, I just said a bêtise. One of the 2 packs, I forgot which one, is not there of the Bend Blades or the Storm Sword in the smaller list. Here we have this beautiful, I mean, look at this miniature. It's so glorious. That's why I try to always put a little guy on the turret, because it really gives a sense of scale. And look at this cannon. It looks straight out of Gundam, actually, like when they have anti-mobile suit tanks, it looks like this. I love this Titan killer. So a full pack of 3, of course, it's a huge threat. And in this list, this armored list, I have also a lonely Shadow Sword. So 1 pack of 3 and 1 single one with a Commissar here, and the lone one is a Commissar for resolving morale and having boosts. Then I have 2 packs to hold the line of Salamander recon vehicles that I will proxy with those very similarly equipped Aethon's Heavy Sentinels. So 2 packs of 4 of those guys. They are here to be like reconnaissance forces and holding the line first. And finally, my anti-air firepower, I'm gonna have a few Hydras. Each time there's gonna be a battery of 3 Hydras here, really there to prevent enemies' anti-air power to wipe me out, like it's been in the previous like siege, as you have seen. And I'm also gonna have 1 Hydra that each time is gonna be attached to a force. Usually it's to 1 pack of Shadow Swords or 1 pack of Heavy Vehicle, I forgot which one. Because it makes them a little bit more expensive, and then it becomes my break morale unit, my most expensive unit, because this is 500 points, this is 500 points, this is also 500 points, and although if everything is at 500 the same, my opponent can destroy any of them and say, okay, I broke your most expensive formation, any of the 3 of them, by adding anti-air firepower by this beautiful miniature from Full Spectrum Dominance. By adding this, I put 1 formation at 550 points, and then I have only 1 formation, usually the one that I know I will protect, that becomes the break their morale 1. Very happy with that. So this is the fort that I just presented to you with, of course, the stat line and stuff. What changes at 3000 points? So I need to remove some stuff. Indeed, I remove 1 combination. I remove the Storm Swords, okay, that's what I did. I keep the Bane Blades, which are a bit more polyvalent, like versatile, I think it's in English. And I still have some Shadow Swords, of course, and I have more infantry because I have a big boost of infantry company. We'll see how that works. It's absolutely not a competitive event. It's more like an excuse to make some cocktails and make some barbecue and stuff with friends. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be this weekend. I suppose this battle report is going to be published somewhere in September, maybe middle of September. And again, guys, I'm sorry, there's been like 3 battle reports or tournaments report in a row almost of Epic Armageddon. But well, that's the active community that we get. If you want to play other games, to see other games on the channel, and you are in the Parisian region, please guys, do send me a message on the Discord and let's play some Conquest, some Dystopian Wars with the new version, some Armored Clash, some everything. But for now, let's get going for some Epic Armageddon. Let's meet on the tables.
All right, here we are for the first table. As you can see, we are living at one of the players' homes, so thank you very much for hosting us. There are 4 tables. You might recognize Avner here playing with some Adeptus Mechanicus. I will not show all the tables because we're going to try to focus on our own game. I am playing against Tau for the first game. It's the first time ever I play against Tau. I have my armor division here because there was a lot of objectives there. Lone Shadow Sword holding here my main objective. And here I'm also going to have an armored mechanized infantry regiment going there. There is a little kitty Siberian. Love it. It's the same race of cats as my cat, so I really like this little one. Here we have some Tau that deployed in cover already. I do have, by the way, an objective here and some sentinels forward. Lots of Riptides in the army of the Tau. Let's see. Lots of riptides, they're a very beautiful model, very powerful. Some infantry in transport, Crisis with Farsight as a supreme commander, some Armageddon, which is the largest unit, more riptides, and a lot of aircrafts ready to strafe, so I need to be very careful with my entire defenses because this is going to be the main threat. We have this surprising deployment, as you can see, but we'll see how it goes. There on this table we have some Eldars fighting Adeptus Mechanicus. It's Avner's first game with this game system, so we'll see how that goes. Here we're going to have some Sisters of Battle actually fighting some Imperial Guard. So here is the Sisters of Battle. We don't see them every day, so let's take a second to appreciate what do we have here. And they're facing a regular Imperial Guard with some Titans back. And here it's going to be some orcs from the Evil Sons Codex, so lots of fast vehicles and everything. They are going to fight some Lost and Damned, so like basically evil Imperial Guard, let's call it. I think we've seen some similar miniatures already, and like in another tournament. We'll see how that goes. Oh my god, this looks very oppressive. And here are the Tau, so 2x2 fighters, Orcas with broadside, and some, not Barracudas, Tiger Sharks as well. And I guess because we're in France. We will play quite a few activations. Again, it's a tournament report, not a battle report, so I will just show probably at the end of turn 1 how it's been going. Alright, we are reaching the end of the first turn. It's been quite lethal already, but we will see what is left at the end of the second turn. Spoiler, probably not much. Some aircrafts came here, destroy my anti-air firepower here. There's been some damage. I moved my Hydras here to damage one of the bombers, but not killing it outright. As you can see here, there's been some moving and positioning and shooting. The Tetras, like the land speeders, were broken and fell back and didn't rally, actually. Here I got some damage on my Bane Blades. Neither the Storm Swords were here, neither the Bane Blade managed to rally at the end of the turn. I'm a bit sad about this. They both made a 1 on their rallying roll. Lemanros here shot, did no damage. Like I was not lucky on this side of the map. And I also lost some people walking through ruins and stuff. It was like double ones, and which is what you need to lose troops. I'm a bit sad. But still, now I am really entrenched into this ruin. Here I shot on the Tetras. I really have trouble dealing with the drones around the Riptide. The infantry was unlucky here in what they're doing, and they're gonna take some damage. Anti-air firepower here, lone shadow sword here, didn't do anything. I barely managed to kill one broadside here with 3 shadow swords shooting on them. They were dropped by an Orca, which I let fly away. Bane Blades here have a lot of, how would they say, they're really panicking. I really wish I would rally them, but they made a 1, so they're probably going to break very soon, and then I will project them somewhere where they can kind of stay alive, I hope, but I don't have a lot of hope for them. My little guys here managed to rally themselves after, no, they didn't rally themselves yet, but they couldn't activate, and they shot on those guys, killing 1. Got some sentinels here that didn't do anything at all, even though they shot. And I got some infantry here. This is where one of the transport destroyed itself. I'm a bit sad, I should have been more careful. And I am kind of holding the line here. The other games are still ongoing. I don't want to make the video last too long, so we'll not look in the details. It's going to be extremely lethal now that we are at the engagement range. The broadsides, are, like many things, are going to die. Blades, Lemon Rosses, infantry, that's for sure. We'll see how that goes at the end of the second turn. But damn, like, this was mostly positioning and not having good luck with rolls. Now is going to be the time for the huge melee, especially here. But don't worry here, it's going to be fun as well. Okay guys, we are finishing the second turn, and indeed it was absolutely lethal. Here was a huge melee that happened. In the end, the Imperials won, kicking off, like basically obliterating the Fire Warriors that were there. Some Crises tried to move forward to support, they got some losses and fell back. There was a massive assault, maybe it's gonna be the miniature of the video. Broadside were broken, but they rallied and they weren't here. The Fire Warriors were all the way in the back, moved forward, being annoying, but that's about it. Here some firepower happened, didn't, like, basically only kill drones. The infantry here was broken by an air attack, and only the Chimeras are hiding now in the forest. Here, as you can see, not many losses here. There were some units broken and stuff, including this Riptide, but they rallied. Who didn't rally is either my Bane Blades, who were very scared, and my Shadow Sword, which was broken by morale and also was very scared somehow and didn't want to rally. Shadow Swords here are fine. My Hydras here shot down one of the Barracuda aircraft from the tower, so good job, guys. That's why they didn't move. I could have been more aggressive with them, maybe. And here I'm in strong control of this, well, not yet this objective, that objective that I'm gonna hold. My secondary here, I do, like, if I can manage to secure this objective all the way in the back, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but it would mean I would win the game by the end of turn 3. Though, with the losses that I suffered, I think I'm just gonna stay there, keep pushing, holding it, both of his objectives. And yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do if my troops don't want to fight. We'll see how that goes. We will begin the turn 3, and probably it will end somehow, one way or another, by the end of turn 3.
Okay guys, I am stopping at the beginning, like the middle of turn 3, let's say, because something crazy happened and I wanted to show what was going on. Est-ce que tu peux remettre les bombardiers aussi? You've seen my list. Bane Blades, Shadow Swords, Storm Swords, Lemon Ross. You think those would be the MVPs? I had the initiative. My Lemon Ross is here. The Vanquisher Destroyers shot and broke the formation of Riptides. But this is not what matters. What matters is them. First activation, he put both of those bombers. One of them already had lost a wound, sure. But I need to make some 5s, and he needs to miss his 5s as well. The Hydras, which can shoot all the time in anti-air, shot both bombers. This was already huge. I was like, wow, good job, guys. And they were still in Overwatch against ground unit. Then a whole pack was trying to redeploy to take my objective here and make sure I don't win turn 3. They made a crazy Overwatch. It was on 5+, on 6 dice. I made 4 success, which is absolutely out of statistics. He failed his rolls. 3 transports were destroyed, alongside with like something like 4 infantry that died out of the transports, 4 or 5, and the entire unit was broken. So it's not the Shadow Sword and the Bane Blades which are scared of doing anything that's managed to save the day, it's the Hydra, shooting everything like little crazy turrets, shooting out the mechanized infantry, shooting out the bombers and everything. Also the Shadow Swords shot and destroyed 3 of the hammerheads and artillery, like stingrays, and doing like breaking the armor formation. I was very happy of these little Hydras. First time I played them by 3, and I think I will continue to do so. Just wanted to share that with you. Alright guys, we are finishing the 3rd turn. It is done victory of the Imperial actually, thanks to good few activations, especially here the crisis came to try to hold the position. I made a shooting attack with the infantry trying to, hoping to make an assault with the salamanders. Actually, I killed one and the whole formation was broken, fell back into the building here. And then I did manage to see the salamanders here. He had his biggest unit, the hammerhead tank, already broken, hiding here after they suffered the shots from the Shadow Swords. I moved my salamanders, killing 1 from the morale, and then the Hydras killed 1 outright with a lucky roll. And the other one ran with the morale. There was only 3 left, so I destroyed his, I broke his morale, is the name of the objective, by destroying his biggest unit. I also have both his objectives. One of them was like here, remember, and one of them was there between the buildings. So both his objectives. So Belem 1, like broke the morale 1 point. In the middle, another point, and it has no unit in unbroken unit in my half of the table. It means I get another 3rd point. I did not get either his HQ, which was all the way there, even though I had 3 units gathering around, and I secured my place, but I could not yet secure this area. It was tight all the way until the end. Some very bad luck on my side in the very beginning, and some very good luck on my side still at the end of the game, and in the end it balances out. First time I play against the tower, let's zoom out to have a look at those beautiful miniatures. Look at this epic tide, like it's amazing. We had more tides, the crisis, alongside all of them were very beautiful. I did manage also, by the way, to obliterate the roadsides that were there. Very fun game. I will not epilogue too much, we'll see, but there is going to be a second game with a little bit similar list. I do lose some super heavies, I think the Storm Swords, and I get some more elsewhere, but still very fun. We will now see us again for the second game of the tournament.
Alright, guys, second game and last game of the day, a mirror match against Imperial Guard, but we play different sub-faction of the Imperial Guard. He plays the normal Imperial Guard, so not the armored regiment that I play. On my deployment, well, first let's start with his forces. One thing to note about this desert map is that it's very polarized. My HQ is this unpainted fellow blade because I forgot my HQ. His HQ is out there, and then we have four objectives: one, two, three, and four, really on this half of the table. So the right side of the table is kind of like for nothing. He did deploy safely his two warhounds, two units of one, safely, and thus I deployed my shadow swords here, trying to hunt them down. I also have the Lemoners destroyers. We'll see how it goes. You can see two infantry companies with a lot of infantry right there. Shadow sword in the middle, another shadow sword here, like another type of miniatures. Sentinels here. His largest regiment, three bend blades, and then Hydra right here. I don't have many anti-tank. I will need to bring closer my shadow swords soon. We'll see how I handle that. My infantry company with my supreme commander here, ready, probably one of my first activation. I will jump in here so he cannot take the objective himself, and I will force him to move forward. If I can be in cover, that would really be huge. We'll see if I have initiative or not. Otherwise, I might I might secure this area at least. I have salamanders here and salamanders there to make a bubble of 20 centimeters where he cannot get closer. Three storm swords here ready to clean enemies in cover. Six Liman Rosses, the classical ones, right there. Three Hydras here ready to make some fire support, make some, firefight support, but whatever. And another infantry company, this time it's a bit bigger, of seven Chimeras ready to, no spoilers, but they're probably gonna jump and try to secure this objective. So I'm a little bit more exposed with my salamanders. I need to get some infantry in cover and try to hold the line fast. I don't have much to handle those bane blades, but if I am in cover with infantry, you will have trouble kicking me out. I really need to be careful with my shadow swords to try to, if I can destroy his shadow swords, at least one of them, I will be relatively safe for the rest of the game. Maybe I lose one when he shoots me back, not even sure. And then I can hunt the Warhound, the Bend Blades, and stuff. We'll see how it goes. I don't know who has initiative yet, but I'm playing against the host of the tournament today. So, like, it's him in the middle with the pink pants. So, thanks to him for having us. Like, we had a great barbecue with good wine, good bread, good cheese. Well, you know, it's France. Like, we have good food. And so, thanks to him very much, and we'll see how it goes. And okay, one thing I will show you is the other table because it's always nice in Epic to have different factions. Here, the Tau that we know I've been facing off now with the Lost and the Damned. So you can see a lot of different Chaos cultists with, oh my god, is that Tau bombers already? That is quite cool. Really love the terrains we are playing with in a really nice place here. And we'll probably not come back, but as you can see, this is the good thing with Epic Armageddon. We have lots of variety. Like here we have cultists, which we could have at Legions Imperialis, but fighting against Tau with the Exo Armor and Riptides, not so much. Here the Eldar is still fighting on his table after a narrow victory in the previous term, and now after kicking out the Adeptus Mechanicus, it is the orcish hordes of the Evil Sons with lots of trucks and stuff charging forward. And yeah, Orcs versus Eldar is a matchup we like to see, and again, something that we are missing in Legions Imperialis. Like, I mean, come on, give us at least Orcs and Eldars. And here we have another Imperium civil war with the Sisters of Battle against Adeptus Mechanicus. They didn't finish deploying yet, but basically the Sisters of Battle are in the longer side. They will have to charge through, and it's going to be very tough for them to try to cross the line where some Mechanicus weapons have like literally infinite range or 1 meter range. And for those who don't know, 1 meter range is almost the entire table, like almost. So they are still deploying. We'll see how that goes. But for now, let's go back to our Guard Civil War. And you know what, guys? We are actually gonna just take a look at this table as they are deployed. Like, we are still playing turn one. I one-shot one of the Shadow Swords. It was very fun. He, I will not spoil what's going on my table. We'll see at the end of turn one. So the Sisters of Battle, I mean, just look at those beautiful units. Please give us those preaching units in Legions Imperialis Games Workshop. They're deployed here, ready to rush at the face of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Some more infantry and priests and stuff. Very, very cool. The penitent engine being here. Some aircraft was shut down already. It's probably just there for now. Skitavi Rangers in the forest, of course, in fire support. And then all the armored divisions ready to roll. The Ballistari, of course. This time it has two Mars. It can shoot at 1 meter, breaking. Oh my god. Oh my god. 1 meter should be enough with a movement in the worst case to make a lot of damage out there. Oh my god. And some infantry also ready to push. And you know what? Since we are showing a little bit of everything, here one shadow sword went here, almost killed himself. He took a damage, and he's actually camouflaged. So almost killed himself. Broke like destroyed one of my Lemonros anti-tank here. I rallied because I failed to activate. He pushed forward his mechanized infantry, threatening me. He had to make a triple move, so he couldn't shoot. But still now he's a thorn. My 3 shadow sword moved here, obliterating his shadow sword that was out there. Warhound moving here and breaking my sentinels here, but they are still staying there because they're very annoying where they are. And now I just pushed, I didn't make the disembarking yet, but I pushed my infantry company right there with my Supreme Commander, and we're gonna try to hold the line. Let's meet at the end of the first turn. Alright, guys, we are happily ending the first turn. It was very interesting indeed. There was a huge push here. I will go at the situation of the first, and I will not tell you too much the back and forth. One of the Shadow Sword of his was destroyed. The Warhound came here, and between the good crossfire between those guys, making me more impacts and actually reducing my armor, which changed a lot. My Lemon Rosses that were here were broken. I did not manage to rally them. They're the only unit that stayed broken, and they went all the way there. They did some damage here, but they rallied as well. I'm not super confident that it's going so well. We'll see how everything moves. I took the bait of the infantry here. There is no objective here, but there is a huge pack. I want to put my templates here, so my flamethrowers, anti-building bend blades, the variants, the storm sword. Of course, I had to bring them here. Like there was no question. I mean, it's not even like a real tournament with pairing and stuff. Like we knew from the beginning of the day who we were gonna play against. So yes, I want to burn all those guys. We'll see how it goes. I deployed here and didn't do much there. I did manage to rally my salamander there. Hydras here finished off the sentinels. The sentinels are entirely wiped out. And here I moved. They went there to finish off the sentinels, but then they took the overwhelming firepower of this infantry here. I lost like 4 chimeras and like 3 or 4 packs of infantry, even though they were entrenched from the bang blades and consort and the Hydra, which did a lot of damage as well. So here is the situation. There is 2 warhounds there and still a shadow sword. We don't see him because he's camouflaged, but there is still a shadow sword here. We're gonna see how it goes, but I firmly can contest this terrain there, nice, and this one I can secure quickly. This and those 2 there, I should be able to secure them as well. I do need though to start to bring some forces back from this fun front without objectives back here. We'll see how it continues around, and we'll meet again at the end of the second turn, except if there is a crazy happening at some point. We are at the end of turn 2, and it was very interesting till then. Like I made some redeployments because there was a big slaughter left and right, lots of losses. He doesn't have shadow swords anymore. I lost many. Like he had some good luck in critical rolls both times, slaughtering my storm swords. And unfortunately, I think the game is basically done because at the end of turn 2 there was some ralliement. So some units were broken on his side. There was a big assault there, by the way. And some units were broken on my side. And unfortunately, at the morale step, none of my units rallied. So I couldn't rally either. Like even those guys that here couldn't remove their impacts. And these guys didn't want to rally. I made a 1. I made a 1 here. I made a 2 here and I made a 1 here. So it means on this flank, I basically don't have a turn 3 because none of them managed to rally. So I will be severely out-activated. I still have those guys holding on one objective, still have the Shadow Swords, which is nice. But that's basically it. And he rallied everything, so he has all his activations. So 6 against 3 is going to be hard, and it might be 6 against 2 activations because he gained the initiative as well. And he's probably going to try to wipe out this pack of Liman Rasses first, and then maybe the Shadow Swords in firefights. So it was tight all the way until the end of turn 2, and then Moral made everything collapse. But it's Imperial Guard, you know. Sometimes the faith in Emperor is not strong enough. Let's meet, like I think it's going to be very fast now since I don't have troops anymore. Let's meet at the end of the game. And this is the end of the game. Indeed, like we started to pack already, it's exactly what we thought would happen. He activated and broke my Limaneros here, who fell back, and he killed my Salamanders here. I did manage to kill the Warhound because I had one activation. He let me activate it because they didn't change anything, so I killed the Warhound, yay! But then he took the objective, he redeployed, took the Blitz, and I had literally no activation, and so he had like 4 or 5 after, and he just took every objective, and so at the end of turn 2, he had all the important objectives. These guys redeployed here, I don't know, because I was out of activation, and he won from the points 2-0. So, yeah, well, one victory 3-0, one defeat 2-0, and we are going to go home to our wives while they play the third game. It was very fun. I was a bit sad about the rallying because it was a bit of bad luck, and I just for the fun I rolled at the end of turn 3 just to see if we had played a turn 4 if he hadn't won. Those guys rallied, so I could face off this pack. Those guys rallied, the super heavy rallied, the salamanders here rallied, and the tank. And so basically everybody rallied. They're like, oh, actually, we're ready to fight. Except the game was already over. So, well, it's Imperial Guard for you guys. Sometimes this happens. It was very fun to have this mirror match. I will go for the quick debriefing at the end. But for those, it was very fun to have this very heavily infantry, heavy with some Warhound force against a lot of tanks and Baneblades and Shadow Swords. Some of the super heavies of the guard are not amazing, like the Baneblades and the Storm Swords. They're fun, but hey, though the Shadow Swords are, as always, absolute MVPs. Alright, we're gonna start to pack and go, and let's meet for the debriefing.
And okay, let's go for the quick debriefing. I see that as I edit the video, it's already more than 30 minutes, so I said it would be fast, so let's make a quick debriefing at least. It was very fun games. We had a great time. Thanks again for the invitation. Thanks for organizing tournaments in the home. You see quite a bit of Epic Armageddon on the channel. It's because there is such a fun and nice community that they're very friendly. And as you can see, they're a little bit older, let's say, in age, and we can eat and drink and have talks as well. So this, of course, is not in the movies, in the reports, but this is a big reason why it's so enjoyable to play with this community. And the community of Conquest, dystopian wars and stuff are relatively smaller. I'm trying very hard to make it grow, but I'm also sometimes I just want to play some games in the 40k universe, and that's why Epic Armageddon is such a good thing. Unfortunately, Legions Imperialis and even NetEpic as well are very much not a big games in Paris. Hope if it becomes bigger, you will see it more on the channel, but until then, not so much. I'm not going to debrief too much my list because I'm going to have an optimized, very similar version of this list for the big yearly tournament of Epic Armageddon, which happens end of November. So there's going to be like about 50 people, something like this. It's absolutely massive. There are people from all over the world, and you will see there, and I will talk more about the list then. I'm quite happy how it behaves, and there were a few things to optimize, and I saw what works and what doesn't work. Basically, I'm going to go more with this skew list with even more ultra heavies, and there's going to be one specific weakness, and I'm like, okay, if the enemy has this, okay, like it's going to be rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to have one tool, and we'll see if it happens or not. But very happy of the gameplay as well. It can be frustrating when there are not so many dice rolls that have such huge impact. The rallying phase really I feel like you should be able to auto rally like one unit or something, because losing the game because you made a couple once and the enemy made a surprise 6 is like just 1 or 2 dice and it changes everything. And then you lose entire activation that can be 500 points or something of your list, sometimes more. And you're like, see, if I just had a +1, it would have changed the game. Or if I had made a 6 instead of a 1 and that kind of thing. This is only one little detail that can be frustrating, but that's anytime there's going to be not many dice roll, variance is going to be higher. Overall, I'm really happy of Epic Armageddon. Having the possibility of having all these different factions is always such fun. I love this. I hope it's going to come to Legions Imperialis at some point, but as you could see, like having Tau, Eldar, Adeptus Mechanicus, Sororitas, Orcs, Chaos, like all of this this is what we want to see on the tables of Epic Armageddon for sure. And if you like this type of content, give us a comment and a thumbs up and everything, and subscribe, you know, all the things. Activate the bell, all the YouTube things, especially comment so you can win one of the two War Machine armies that you have seen already on the Discord. There's a lot of miniatures, and I will try to record the videos. They're currently on my work because I'm trying to make demos with it, and I need to find the time to record this official like kickstart of the contest, but the contest is ongoing. So give us a comment if you would like, and let us know, please, if you like this type of format. If you want more Epic Armageddon, I have a massive 5 or 6,000 points battle report narrative Imperial Guard versus Tyrannid coming soon, like in about like 2, 3 battle reports from here. Like I'm trying to make different games to not have twice the same game in a row. If you like this type of battles as well, we have more Armored Clash coming. If you like massive battle games, even though it's in the steampunk age. And of course, as always, guys, join us on the Discord and let us know what you like. Come play video games with us. We have a narrative campaign ongoing, and you can have more tickets to gain more chance of having one of the armies that we put in our contest. And it's a good mood. Like we have a good, small but a good community where you can share pictures of your miniatures and everything, and it's quite nice. Thank you if you have watched all the way until the end, guys. Take care of yourself until the next video. Remember to keep all things fair in love and war games. Bye.